Hey everyone, this is Meiyu. Welcome to my Q&A video. I've collected some of the most asked questions from fans, and I'm gonna answer some here in today's video. Yeah, so I noticed some of you were curious about my art process in my videos. This is from my recent video where I turned Tim Burton characters and reimagined them as beautiful princesses. So just like this design, I usually like to use a light pink or peach animation pencil to sketch on my designs first, before using a black brush pen to ink my lines. So like this. Here I'm using my Pit Artist brush pen from Faber-Castell. And then once my line art is done, I like using alcohol-based markers to color and blend until I'm happy with the result. I'm glad that so many of you are telling me you love my coloring books. I'll continue to make more for you. The best thing is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, so you'll be the first to know of my new book releases. I always announce new releases in my videos. So for those of you who are wondering what kinds of art supplies you can use in my coloring books, you can use like a wide variety. I've used lots of art supplies in my books like alcohol-based markers, water-based markers, paint markers, colored pencils, and gel pens. And the great thing about my coloring books is that many of them have duplicated sets of the coloring images, so you can experiment with different like art supplies, color schemes, or different techniques. And you can also challenge your friend to color with you or do coloring collabs. And it's also nice to, just have a backup in case of mistakes. You don't need to worry now because you can just relax and color. I've seen some of you do amazing mixed media pieces in my coloring books, like coloring with colored pencils or markers, then going over certain areas or lines with either gel pens or paint markers or metallic markers. It's always nice to see those beautiful shiny or glittery effects. And some of you like to use colored pencils or markers, and then you like to use like a white paint marker on top just to touch up on little highlights. So there are many different ways to create your masterpieces. The best thing about coloring in my books is that you are in control. You're the artist, and there's no right or wrong way, just as long as you're having fun. When you're coloring my books with markers and inks, just place a couple of sheets of normal copy paper behind the image that you're coloring so that the inks won't seep onto the next image. Each image in my coloring books are printed single-sided with its own black backed page. This helps prevent the look of ink from coming through. And here's a piece I did with paint markers. So you can see the back of this image. I've got my copy paper underneath so nothing gets onto the next page. Here's another piece I did with alcohol-based markers with the black back page, and no ink went onto the next page. Each of my coloring books has a helpful tips page in the beginning, along with a test area for you to try different color schemes and techniques. I love seeing your coloring work from my various coloring books, and thank you for all of you who've sent me your coloring fan creations through DMs on Instagram and Facebook. Great work, everyone! I'm sorry I don't have time to respond to each, but I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you here for sharing. And one place I check fan coloring work is on the meiyuart hashtag on Instagram. There are already thousands of posts from fans just like you who are showing their work from my various coloring books. It's also really fun to see how different people bring the various images in my coloring books to life. I've seen so many of you infuse your own, unique takes, techniques, color schemes, and like little customized additions to your books. Like sometimes you doodle little things here and there. It's so fun to see different people's works. If you haven't been there yet, please go check it out. You could learn something from each other, and thank you for inspiring each other. Thank you so much for sharing. Love all of you, and keep up the great work. Many of you have been asking what kind of supplies and materials I use to do the art in my videos. I've included most of these art supplies on my Meiyu bookstore on Amazon. You can find them in the category called Art Supplies Meiyu Uses in Her Art Videos. For inking my lines, I usually like to use my Faber-Castell Pit Artist brush pen. They're really nice to use and I can go from thin to thick very easily. For coloring and shading, I like to use alcohol-based markers like touch markers and sometimes Copic markers. If you know anyone who is looking for the types of art supplies I use, then you can share this video with them. And also on my store, you can find over 100 different coloring books and how to draw books I've made. Most of them are $10 and under. I hope this helps. The link to my Meiyu bookstore is in the video description. Some people have asked me if you can get my coloring books in your own country. The best thing is to check the Amazon site in your country and just search my name, Meiyu. You should be able to find out if they ship to you or not. Amazon ships to over 100 countries, so I think most of you should be alright. Some books are printed right in the country where they are ordered from. Like, for example, if you order from the US, my books are custom printed just for you in the US. And share this video to help others and with anyone who might have similar questions. I hope this helps. Keep up the great work, everyone, and I'll see you in my next video.